Alrighty, here we go for the third rock and roll that I'm gonna open with this red because I washed my hands. I did wash my hands and dry, so you realize this because of germs, bacteria, microbes, and that's it. That's all rock and roll. Let's go. Whew. This is for the third. Finishing my coffee and wash my hands with soap. And this soap gotta be replaced soon. And let's go. Rock and roll for the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store, clerk stores. The sunset on November 12th. Hey, bring me some tools. I'm gonna paint here some black and white and rainbow. Red, my favorite color, that red. Independent Aspie artist, athlete, got that HFA, high functioning autistic, and rock and roll 24/7, saluting the train conductors, LOV, for the butchers, for the nurses, for the firefighters, for the youth. I know somebody gonna hug like you never hugged before today. Hug like you never hugged before today is the main message, and LOV, the youth. Don't mean to stare, I'm an Aspie, and they smile, they're happy, I'm happy. That's what matters. My financial stress aside, ain't got no money for the guitar. If they're happy, joyous, their security, safety, joy, that's the most important thing, because they're innocent and we got our little adult things, but besides that, if they're happy, I'm happy. Gonna go out through there and gotta get it for the circumvision, and that's what I'm gonna go get it, man. Oh, that's a beauty. Isn't that a beauty? When was it built? How much does it weigh? Who conducts it? Who builds it? Where? All these questions. See how an Aspie functionality works. I'm focusing on details, like those details there that says the number. See that number 1010 there? See that number? So that's where we are obsessed about certain details, which some people might say, what the F, but that's what it is. So we gotta salute. They're happy, I'm happy. The youth, the children, gotta give them some of that rock and roll, so their security, their happiness, my joy, that's all that matters. Cake and fruit, El Avito is the sunset. That's what matters at the end of the day. For me, what's important is hearing them happy, joyful, and laughing, and security and safety for them and their joy. That's what matters for me. The rest, all my financial stress aside, not being able to have a job, I'm happy, man, happy. They're happy, I'm happy. That's the most important thing. For me, I love the youth, love the youth. And if they're happy, I'm happy, joyous. And yeah, made my day seeing the youth smile at me, kind of teenagers, 16, 17, did a little bit like, yeah, like, so that's why I laughed in there. And I'm an Aspie, I know I'm different, you're divergent, but I love, and I love to see the youth happy and joyous and love, and that's what it is for that. And black, white, and rainbow, and play that defense, like that hardball ball, and I would defend like Operation Dracula style for defense. Gotta implement North American Operation Dracula style, and we got a lot of forests. I'm not gonna go into that because it's another story. A little bit of it's not about to be a horror, but hey, I'd rather be doing that LOV, see? Love like you never loved before today. Kiss like you never kissed before today. Kiss like you never kissed before today. Hug like you would consent. Don't start kissing people randomly. That's not what I said. Do not start kissing people randomly. That's not what I said. Do not start kissing people randomly. Hug like you never hugged HUG. That's the main message, man. I'm happy, I'm happy now, joyous. I don't know. I just love to see the youth happy, and their joy brings me joy. I'm gonna put on a little bit of that. Gonna put on the gloves, and yo, watch the car. They're happy, I'm happy, and At the end of the day, that's what matters. Because that's, adults, my $10,000 debt aside. Financial stress, Asperger's, HPHFA, high functioning autism, having trouble maintaining a regular employment, suffer, struggle, my suffering, my struggle, my surviving COVID, being depressed and suicidal. That all goes away today when I saw those youth smiling at me and happy and joyous and giggling and smiling and laughing, and that's it, man. November 12th, Scorpio rebirth for North American Collective is what I will as I go towards the sun now. I'm a bit tempted to go check on that, a little bit of that checking on how in the minus I am, because I am in the minus, but I'm gonna check up a little bit of that after sunset. We're gonna go roundabout, circumvent, and then we're gonna end it right here somewhere. And get a little bit on that chilly side as I go now, gotta say my gratitude, grateful, thankful. Rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and it's not all about me, my face, Gotta get it for that double trouble over time, and please reduce the costs. NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, for NHL, National Hockey League, MLB, National Basketball Association, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, National Basketball Association, MLB, NHL, National Hockey League, NFL, whatever order, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, please reduce the costs of the tickets by 44.9%, 44.9%, 44.9%, 44.9%. That's my estimated analysis of the cost to be at par with the salaries not increasing. Majority of salaries have not increased, and the prices of goods have increased, of course, since COVID. And see how my ASPI mind works? I now check out the details of that number. It's G44TRL. So to me, because it looks a bit symmetrical, I kind of focus on the details of how the randomness of those numbers G44, T, letter T, R, L, come to be conjoined together. So I guess it's a random computer sequence, but nonetheless, the fact that there was a G and then 44 and then T, the letter T, R, L, it kind of makes it like it looks symmetrical, just like the 44 I noticed earlier, maybe because of the 4-4, because 44 makes it a little bit of XYZ. I guess if you add all that up, those letters are going to be close to 45. But anyways, that's another story. But just to say that Asperger's, HFA, people with high functioning autistics like myself, we have obsessive interests and we tend to focus on certain details, which to some people say, what the fuck, WTF, Like, what's that about? But it's because we have those little weird behaviors, and that's how we are, and we're a minority, 0.44%, 44 again. But it's through the last statistics that have shown that less than half of a percent, less than 1 percentile, 0.44% have Asperger's, aka high functioning autism. So not out of 1 out of 300. So I live with it. I live with my scars, and I'm joyous now, and seeing the youth, and I'm gonna switch it because I'm gonna go. It's all about the sun now. Now it's all about my King the Pope sunset. The sunset and sunrise every second. There's a sunset and a sunrise, and just gotta do a little meditation as I go towards the sun. I gotta say my gratitude. Grateful, thankful. My rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and I saw the youth smiling, joyous. So that brings me joy as well. So my protocols, the dream, the dancing goddess. And the Dragon Kingdom, the dancing goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. The dancing goddess and the Dragon Kingdom is fundamentally a call for the North American Collective Complex for the unity in the Democratic Republic, public-private partnership funded with 718 trillions of kisses. I said, first and foremost, financed with 718 trillions of kisses from the forgotten goddess. 718 trillions of kisses from the forgotten goddess. I do goddess it as they got it, ain't got it, GODDSS it, I GODDSS it, I do GODDSS. So kisses I got by the plenty, some push-ups, some marching steps, trillions of marching steps in those boots. Oh, that's what I would need, a massage. Cannot afford it, but hey, I enjoy seeing others getting some workout training, exercising, massages. You know what? Firefighters, LOV to our firefighters, they deserve it more than me, and they earn it more than yours truly. The firefighters. As a matter of fact, give NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. Give the public workers, those who pick up the garbage, the compost, the recycling, public services, public sanitation across North America. Give them some free tickets to go see the sport, to go see the sport, to go see the sports, 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 to go see the sports. Hey, that's nice red. It's a nice red. I'm just gonna go into the circle. In the circle of love, in the circle of life. Black and white and red and rainbow. Black and white and rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. Black and white and rainbow. Black and white and rainbow in the circle of life. Everybody in that circle are the dancing on the dragons. Hey, here, the lion, lion, lion. See, that's lion is the name. It's electric. Go, electric vehicles, go. Lion is electric. Lion is electric. So I'm just gonna turn my head still left and right here, because you never know. What if the brakes malfunction? What if the citizen presses the accelerator instead of the brake? What if the citizen presses the accelerator instead of the brake? It's possible that the brakes malfunction. What if it's a circumstantial cause? The brakes malfunction. The brakes malfunction. The brakes malfunction. That's 100% electric. 100% electric. 100% electric. The brakes malfunction. It's 100% electric. So salutations to the electric vehicle producers, and that's what it is with that. So hey, gonna give a salutation to those who are gonna pick up the leaves, public workers in North America. Let's support all willingly loving the centrist North American Collective Workers Party, North American Collective Party, part of my dream. Phoenix People's Party, the Dancing Goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, which is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership. My brothers and sisters, I gotta discuss now the DRT. The DRT, I gotta discuss it as I go towards the sunset, because I didn't discuss it in the previous two videos of today. This is part three, final part three today. So it's gonna be the discussion of the DRT, which is the paradox that I'm able to present a solution, at least for where we are now with the public financial system, and how much. In regards to how much interest we pay on the public debt, my brothers and sisters, there's no solution. There's no solution but my DRT. The DRT, the debt refusion to you, as I stand here on this island metropolis, Montreal, aka Hawk Island, as I stand on this island, Montreal, aka Hawk Island, as I stand on this island, metropolis, Hawk Island, HAWK, Hawk Island, aka Montreal. Hawk Island, Montreal, aka Hawk Island, Montreal, aka Hawk Island, Montreal, aka Hawk Island, as I stand on this here, stretching a little bit my back left and right, you know, doing a little bit of that Dragon versus Trump. It's a Dragon versus Trump edition. Saluting Aspie World channel. Aspie World has helped me a lot with my Asperger's, you know, to understand it, to work on the symptoms, because there's no medication. There's no medication for Asperger's. It is a neurological mental divergent condition which makes me predisposed to obsessive interest. So I live with the symptoms, and there's no medication for people with HFA, high functioning autistics, or AKA also known as Aspies. There's no medication. You gotta live with it, you work with it, and you adapt to it, and you gotta get doing on that do. So that's what it is for that. So that's what we gotta get doing on the go. So that's what we gotta get doing on the go for the now. So it's XYZ 24/7, XYZ geopolitics 24/7, and 24/7 geopolitics. 24/7 geopolitics, 24/7 rock and roll, 24/7 fitness, and 24/7 dancing. So that's what it is with me, yours truly. And here we are on the go with that. And here we mention on the go where we gotta always mind our business here, mind our business in security matters, because while I'm in the public, I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations. So I always gotta cross my head left and right, because I'm in the public, so I got added responsibilities, added duties, added obligation, which I do not have in my underground lair, Dragon's Lair. What if the person presses the accelerator? What if the brakes malfunction right at the corner? Anywhere on the island, not just here, but across North America. Anywhere. 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 That's what it is. And being hyper vigilant, you know, having lived, survived trauma, you know. I was attacked viciously a few years ago in the Montreal Metro. I fell, I hit my head and had a dislocated shoulder. I'm retrieving the archives, you know. Retrieving the archives. So that's got a lot of scars. Forget my scars for now. Somebody's gonna make LOV my scars apart, and that is what it is for now. That is what it is, and that is on the go. So it's always something which I gotta be implementing and discussing from time to time, because I've been on a healing journey for a long time. And 7 years ago, cross Canada, coast to coast, that event in my life made me come out of being depressed and suicidal, you know. Made me come out of being depressed and suicidal. When I came out of being depressed and suicidal 7 years ago, when I crossed Canada coast to coast, when that event in my life changed my whole life, and I established a strong esprit de corps, my fellow Canadians, a strong esprit de corps, my fellow Canadians, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. And you know, I would play that defense like that hardball ball, aka black cow ball, only and solely the dancing goddess in the dragon army, Publik Privee partnership, call to all willingly loving, the call to all willingly loving, blah 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 blah. Rainbow dragon, tiny feet, tiny hands, tiny clit, dig, clit, got some scars on my privates. You already know that because I discussed it, but sometimes the goddess has been healed. Yeah, I did say goddess, alternative medicine, sunlight goddess. And I don't know, 93, Papa Crowley buried me with Papa Crowley. A third of me up in New Jersey, a third of me up in the city of the pyramids, a third of me up in Mount Royal, one third. Turn my head left and right, cross and go to the sunset. And of course, gonna make sure that I'm given permission to cross first, nod the head, and rock and roll, because it's an intersection. Although there is a stop sign, you know, you also got to do double check, double prudence, not to be overly excessive about security, but liberty got to be secured. And in the public, I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations. So it is what it is now. So here I am, paradoxically survived and presenting the solution. What a paradox. Aspie, artist, athlete, philosopher, mystic, geopolitical, theoretical, analyst, and theorist, presenting the solution for my brothers and sisters, Canada coast to coast. Canada coast to coast, Canada coast to coast. You're welcome. Of course, anytime. It rang the beep, and I knew somebody was coming from the back. But thank you, you're welcome for sure. Saluting the public workers in the 20th century who built the railroads. That's east, going east, that's west. Now I'm heading north. So that's west. And here a beautiful sunset. Singing for the butchers and the bakers and the nurses and the doctors and the truckers on that rock and roll, you know we go. For the public workers, that's the train conductors. For the choo-choo on the train. For the know, you know we pain. For you know we same. For you know we came. We came. And that light up in the light, and the satellites up in the lights. For the see you nobody, nothing. Hey, I don't turn the other cheek, may I be avenged that sevenfold. Times 7 do the math, please may I be avenged that sevenfold. Times 7, please do the math, bitch, may I be avenged that sevenfold. Do the tenfold times 7 do the math, but I'd rather be kissing and the hugging. I'd rather be black and white and in that rainbow with it, for the truckers, for the butchers, for the bakers and the truckers and the doctors and the nurses, the electricians and the plumbers. Public workers building up that steel with that brains and with that muscle, gotta get it for the real. With that brains and with that muscle, gotta get it for the real. With that brains and with that muscle, gotta get it for the real. With that muscle on that brains, radio waves, you know that we spit it real. For the chord and for the no, for the chord and for the soul, for the chord and for you know, for the chord up and you go, for the chord up and the go, for the chord up and you know, for the chord up in the soul, for the chord up and we go, for the black and white on rainbow, you know, coast to coast we go. North Americans, you know we go. North Americans, you know we blow. North Americans, you know we shore. North Americans, you know we do. North Americans, you know we go. We go on that echo. We gonna get it for that victoire. I wish I would have been a billionaire to just go give people second chances, because I got my own. Although today I'm financially struggling. I am financially struggling, but I wish I would have given today to have billions, to give 10%. When Trump got elected, I would have started with 10% of every billion. Let's say I would have had 44 billion. 10% of 44 billion would have been 4.4 billion. So that would have been 4,000 million, because a billion is 9 zeros. A billion is a 1,000 million. A billion has 9 zeros. A billion has a billion has 9 zeros, right? That's the zero. So now as I go towards the sunset salute, I'm gonna discuss the DRT. Super important to discuss the DRT. So once again, encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. I'm gonna get right on it, the DRT, debt refusion tree, because it's super timely for me to discuss it and to do so, because of course it's the only solution. That's a paradox. Me having survived COVID was like death, pestilence, and disease. I thought I was gonna die in many ways. I did die during COVID, and cross Canada coast to coast, survived that, and then I survived that, and I survived. I don't have much memory of lost memory, like memory loss. It's called raw retrograde amnesia. Does not affect linguistic capabilities or mathematic capabilities. Does not affect linguistic capabilities or mathematic capabilities. Does not affect linguistic capabilities or mathematic capabilities. It does not affect that, but of course it does not affect linguistic capabilities or that, but that's what it is with that, linguistic capabilities. But it affects, of course, whatever the case may be. So it doesn't affect linguistic capabilities. It doesn't affect language or mathematical skills. So what is affect, of course, is that. But now I have the DRT on the table. The debt refusion theory, paradoxically, is the only solution, for what's happening now across the North American collective. For North America, my dream is for a public-private partnership, the Dancing Goddess Army, North American Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army, in parallel with, complementary to the Dragon Army, the North American Citizen Integrated Security and Service Force, the North American Citizen Integrated Security and Service Force, the most North American Citizen Integrated Security and Service Force, the North American Integrated Security and Service Force, North American Integrated Security and Service Force, parallel North American Security and Service Force, of course, service and security and defense, and security and service, and of course the Dragon Army, of course, to be for security and service. North American Citizen Integrated Security and Service Force, security and service force. So that's what it is with that. I'm parallel to the Dragon Army, Dancing Goddess Army, and my dream is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership. The DRT, debt refusion theory, stands for D for debt, R refusion, T for theory. My debt refusion theory includes monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is exactly what was done and implemented in the European Union, when of course the European Union, yours truly had implemented in the 90s a program, of course, a financial theory known as the monetary integration theory, 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 monetary integration theory. That is exactly the theory which was implemented in the European Union by the creation and the destruction, of course, of the Central Bank of Europe. But of course the German Central Bank was destroyed and the currency with it, and the franc of course was destroyed with it, and the Italians were destroyed with it, and they did that destruction, and of course they created in the 90s, a long time ago, ECB, the European Central Bank, the European Central Bank, the European Central Bank, the ECB, the European Central Bank. That's what they created, the ECB, European Central Bank, and now they issue the euro. So we're gonna do the same. We're gonna do the same, but in a different matter, and in a different matter. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna implement across the North American collective the DRT, which also includes monetary integration theory, what's called in finance monetary integration, because my DRT theory also includes that theory which was implemented in the European Union. So we're going to take all the public and the private debt, and we're going to convert it. So my $10,000, your $10,000, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, all the public and the private debt, all that money, the fact that today the United States dollar, the US currency, still is the currency of choice for world trade, international business, international business. Due to that fact, we're going to take all the currency, all the public-private debt. We're going to convert all the public-private debt of Canada into US dollars. All that money is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. All that money is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. All that money is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. So all that money is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. All that money. My debt, $10,000 included. All the debt, public and private, coast to coast, coast to coast. So all that money is going to be converted to US dollar and Canada first. The DRT is the only solution. Why do I say that? My brothers and sisters, we pay 46.5 billion in interest. That's the amount of interest we pay on the debt. That's a lot. 46.5 billion in interest. 46.5 billion just in debt servicing and interest which we pay on the public debt. It was 2020, 2021, it was 20.3 billion. 20.3 billion times 2, that's 40.6. 20.3 billion times 2, that's 40.6. 20.3 billion times 2, that's 40.6. So now it's 46.5, so it more than doubled. It more than double, it more than double, it more than double. It more than double, it more than double. It more than double. That's a staggering amount. That is a staggering amount. It more than doubled. That is amazing how much that is, you know. Somebody wearing that red. Somebody wearing that red, man. Gotta get that red, man, you know. Gotta get that red with it. Anyways, so all the debt, public and private debt, we're gonna convert all that public and private debt, all the debt. My 10,000 included, yours, coast to coast, all the debt, we're gonna convert it into US dollars, into United States dollars, into United States dollars. Because the US dollar is the currency of choice for world trade and international business. So all that money is going to be the initial money supply for a new currency. It's Canada first, but then Canada, US, North American Collective, Mexico, Haiti. Cuba is also part of North America, paradoxical. But Canada first, US second, and then whoever wills. That's how I stated. Canada first, United States second, together. North America third, and then whoever else wills. You know, it could be transatlantic, European, but first Canada. So all the debt is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank, converted to US dollar, and we're going to create a new currency called the UE. The UE. The UE stands for U dot, universal, E dot, exchange unit. The UE based on the value of the US dollar. So all that debt is going to be the initial money supply. All that debt is going to be the initial money supply. All the debt is going to be the initial money supply. So it's going to be in the trillions. For the creation, we're going to create a new currency like they did with the euro in the 90s, and the creation of the European Bank. So we're going to create the UE, the U dot universal exchange unit. The UE, U dot universal, E dot exchange unit. The UE, the U dot universal exchange unit. The UE. That's what we're going to do. 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 That's what we're going to do right here, you know. The universal exchange unit. The universal exchange unit. The universal exchange unit. We're going to create the UE. The UE, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit. That's what we're gonna be creating. That's what we're gonna be creating. That's what we're gonna be creating. The universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit. The UE, universal exchange unit. The UE, the universal exchange unit. Based on the value of the US dollar, we're gonna set an interest rate level of 10%. It could be less than 10%. It could be 3.33, 7.18, 9.3, 4.18. 1.56, below 10 by principle. It could be below 10, but by principle not more than 10. North Americans, we got to do this. There's the only solution. Paradoxically, present the solution. The DRT, debt refusion theory, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE, the universal exchange. With that money, we're going to be able to mass rebuild the infrastructure, mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, mass finance tourism. Gotta give a shout out to those who build the transmission power lines across North America, workers of the 20th century. Transmission line in the 20th century, all those transmission lines. Look at the sun rises and sets now. This is what I came here for. Sun is rising and it's setting. Every second there's a sunrise and a sunset. Every second there's a sunset and a sunrise. Every second there's a sunrise and a sunset. Always red and rising, red and setting. Play that black and white and red and rainbow. Play that black and white and rainbow. Play that black and white and red and rainbow. The DRT, debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. The UE. Universal exchange, the UE. The universal exchange, the UE. The UE. The universal exchange unit. U dot. Universal E dot exchange unit. The UE. Universal exchange unit. The UE. The universal exchange unit. We're going to do a lot of good with that money. Rebuild the infrastructure of North America, the cities. the ghettos of North America rebuilt. Gonna rebuild the bridges, the infrastructure. We're gonna mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise. We're gonna mass finance citizens to fitness. We're gonna mass finance citizens to travel. Because me, 7 years ago, I got out of being depressed and suicidal when I traveled. So it's gonna be a lot of good. We're gonna, of course, also finance the building of tunnels, 44 tunnels across North America, 44 tunnels across North America. Of course, in case of an emergency, in case of a nuclear war, and of course we're gonna put it on the go and do it for the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, for North Americans coast to coast. Of course, build more satellites and supercomputers and be able to intercept for security and service, and the new 911 protocols for philosophy, citizen integration 3 for the new 911, because when you call 911, it's of course Canada and US. It's Canada's 911 and US is 911. But we're gonna add services with it. For security and service and integrate across all levels. Defense, security and service. With the UE, the Universal Exchange is the only solution. North America, we're gonna rebuild the infrastructure, build more hydroelectric dams, lots of work. Hydroelectric dams, the DRT, Detroit Fusion, the UE, the Universal Exchange. That is my dream. Part of the collective North American civilizational complex, and saluting the train conductors. LOV, maybe they need some love, maybe they need some hugging. Hugging I got, loving I got. Loving I got, hugging I got. That's what it is with that. So that's what it is for XYZ and Adrian Hanna Dragon rebirthing. Adrian Hanna Dragon rebirthing. Androgynous pansexual, founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, laying the foundations with trillions of kisses. And I'm just gonna work out a little bit here. Do some of that Dragon versus Trump for a little bit. Admire a little bit of that sunset, sing some rock and roll, and finishing up right here, sunrise. Tomorrow's a sunrise. Tomorrow we're gonna try to go early for that sunrise, and today's a sunset workout. Was the sunset. Fellow Aspies, support the Dragon versus Trump. Butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, all involved in the production, distribution of food. Gotta give those salutation for those train conductors, those, of course, railroad workers, those butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, those, of course, who change diapers across North America today, those who change some of those diapers across North America today, is the North American Collective Workers Party, Rainbow Dragon, philosopher, artist, athlete, geopolitical theoretical analyst, and mystic, Rainbow Dragon, gotta get that rock and roll for the sunset as we go. For the butchers and the bakers, and from here to my place I still got about an hour and a half to go clock it in, so it's still not finished for me, but for this video is gonna be, of course, finished soon, as I'm not gonna go a lot in the dark, because we're gonna get on that dark and the battery is not that good, but it's good. But I had to do 3 videos already. We clocked in more than 2 hours in these 3 videos for November 12th today, so gonna do a long one, maybe tomorrow, sunrise, doing a little bit of more longer one for the XYZ, for the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, and getting on that Wednesday as we go. Of course, butchers, bakers, and always saluting, always meditating in terms of a geopolitical context across the North American collective, what's transpiring, what's happening. Of course, the truckers on the road, LOV, butchers, train conductors at all levels, public transit, those who are the nurses, the doctors across North America, those making some of those cheeseburgers, hamburgers, and pizzas to deliver some of that dinner. Food security starts with the food producers, big, small, and medium. Of course, the big producers, the small producers, the farmers, workers of the 20th century who build the bridges, the railroads, the highways, Please, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association. Got this 44-pound backpack on my back on this march, Don't forget I got a big backpack on my back. And please, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, please reduce the tickets. by 44.9%, 44.9%, 44.9%, 44.9% is my estimated reduction cost. And we're just going to switch it up a bit on that Belle Province now. We're just going to switch it up to that French a little bit because I forgot to pay me some dues for that French. Where here we made the great linguistic compromise. So I'm going to put that 5 minutes for French. So grateful, thankful that my rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee. And now I'm just going to sing some of that French rock and roll. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go for the LOV. Encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. And now French because I am in Quebec, Montreal, Canadian, North American, Quebec, Canadian, North American. We made the great linguistic compromise of the French language. Let's rock and roll. Et voilà, votre artiste athlète, une autre session de Dragon contre Trump. Cette troisième vidéo aujourd'hui. Je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique québécois québécoise du coucher du soleil que je vous chante. Ah ouais, à des pompes, on aime les pompes, l'entraînement physique. Et bien sûr, je dois commencer avec la gratitude de mon rock'n'roll de votre artiste, athlète, philosophe. Avec le rock'n'roll de la belle province. Le soleil se couche puis se lève en rouge, rouge, rouge. Quel bleu ciel, la beauté de la belle province. Merci les camionneurs, les travailleurs de l'Hydro-Québec. C'est Dragon contre Trump. J'ai fait appel pour combattre Donald Trump sur la frontière, Canada-États-Unienne, du Canada et des États-Unis pour combattre Trump dans un combat de boxe, sur la frontière Canada-États-Unienne pour bâtir le temple de la déesse. Le temple de la déesse, le temple de la déesse pour bâtir. Le temple de la déesse, le temple de la déesse. Oublié sur la frontière avec le Colisée du peuple nord-américain impérial, le Colisée du peuple impérial nord-américain, le Colisée du peuple nord-américain, le Colisée impérial du peuple nord-américain, puis bien sûr, pour bâtir puis faire la renaissance de la belle province dans ce jour de Montréal, le 12 novembre. Votre dragon arc-en-ciel vous chante puis vous danse comme personne de l'autre. De la bonté, la force, artiste, athlète, philosophe, il faut faire de l'entraînement physique. Je vous encourage, Québécois et Québécoises. Et bien sûr, le bleu ciel, et de quelle beauté, puis les camionneurs, les bouchers dans les boucheries, ceux qui ont changé des couches, qui ont fait le changement des couches, vous avez fait le changement des couches, vous avez fait aujourd'hui le changement des couches dans les garderies, salutations, les plombiers, les boulangers, les charpentiers, ceux qui conduisent, les camions, camionneurs à travers le collectif nord-américain, à travers l'Amérique du Nord, les travailleurs publics qui changent les aqueducs, les travailleurs de l'Hydro-Québec, amour et santé, salutations. Et bien sûr, les infirmières, les docteurs, et puis bien sûr, les ambulanciers dans les ambulances, puis les chefs de cuisine, parallèlement avec les plombiers, les électriciens, puis ceux qui sont dans le train. Le train, ça chauffe, ça arrête de la gauche, de la droite, le train. Ça marche, puis de la gauche, puis de la droite, le train, sans cesse. Je vous encourage à soutenir mon rêve. Mon rêve est fondamentalement un appel à un partenariat public-privé à travers le collectif de l'Amérique du Nord, à travers l'Américain du Nord, pour la défense de l'Amérique du Nord du collectif, à soutenir le royaume, le rêve de votre dragon arc-en-ciel, le royaume de votre dragon arc-en-ciel. C'est un partenariat public-privé fondamentalement. C'est un appel à un partenariat public-privé à travers ce que j'appelle le collectif de Civilisation américain à travers l'Amérique du Nord. Avec de la danse, ça danse sur les étoiles, on va pouvoir bouger les montagnes ensemble. Pour la défense, seulement pour la défense, l'intégration, l'application, l'implémentation de ma théorie sur la théorie d'intégration citoyenne, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, et bien sûr, pour faire la refusion de la dette, parallèlement, l'intégration citoyenne, puis la fusion démocratique pour le collectif nord-américain, pour la défense, la sécurité, puis le service. C'est un paradoxe, parce que vous savez, j'ai l'autisme hautement fonctionnel sur l'Asperger's, et bien sûr, dans ce domaine, dans ce principe, c'est pour moi-même, mes intérêts obsessifs, c'est la géopolitique 24/24, donc je suis un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique. Je marque 5 ans en 2019, quand j'ai prévu qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant dans le monde d'une façon, manière généralement, là, pas à chaque détail, mais j'ai prévu la situation actuelle. Si je peux vous faire un petit résumé, là, c'est vu que j'ai conclu, la conclusion majeure, c'est que des conflits du 20e siècle, dans certaines régions, civilisations n'ont pas été capables de se faire, d'avoir de résolution. Il n'y a pas eu de résolution de conflit du 20e siècle. C'est ça que j'avais conclu. Bien, il y a plus de détails que ça. Là. Il y avait bien plus de détails, mais j'avais conclu qu'il y aura une ça va continuer, ça va reprendre dans le 21e siècle, ça va reprendre dans le 21e siècle, ça va reprendre. Fait que c'est ça qui est arrivé avec l'Ukraine, la Russie au Moyen-Orient, puis potentiellement avec la Chine puis le Taïwan, potentiellement avec la Chine puis le Taïwan. Ici au Québec, en Amérique du Nord, mais on a fait le grand compromis. Le grand compromis du français, le grand compromis avec nos frères et sœurs noirs, tu sais, qui sont noirs, nos frères et sœurs qui sont noirs, tu sais. On a fait beaucoup de compromis là-dessus, on continue de le faire, on donne des fois sur la table, on met, tu sais, des lois et des protocoles, des choses comme ça, des initiatives. Moi, c'est l'art, le rock and roll, puis qu'on produise ensemble le bon cop, bad cop 3, parce que je veux jouer un petit 5 minutes en chantant du rock and roll bilingue. Je vous chante du rock and roll bilingue, je vous chante du rock and roll bilingue. Puis c'est mon intérêt obsessif, le rock and roll 24 heures sur 24 chez nous. La géopolitique, puis la danse, le sport, l'entraînement physique. Bien sûr, je marque 7 ans depuis que j'ai traversé le Canada, quand j'étais en dépression suicidaire, puis j'ai traversé le Canada. Ça m'a fait sortir de la dépression. J'ai dit, waouh, c'est bon ça, j'ai sorti de la dépression, tellement un gros pays, j'ai établi un esprit de corps solide avec le Québec, le Canada, depuis 2007, puis j'espère même auparavant, parce que je suis québécois-canadien nord-américain, mais à cause de ma perte de mémoire, je m'en souviens comme 7-8 ans, 9 ans, puis j'ai une perte de mémoire, tu sais, j'ai comme une perte de mémoire, puis c'est des choses comme ça, que j'ai une perte de mémoire de ces choses comme ça, mais c'est des choses, bien sûr, qu'il faut qu'on fasse, c'est des choses que moi-même, il faut que je fasse attention pour le faire, c'est des choses qu'il faut que je fasse moi-même, donc c'est des choses qu'il faut qu'il y ait de la résolution, donc c'est des choses, bien sûr, que moi-même, il faut que j'anticipe, puis je fais, puis je joue ensemble en arc-en-ciel, je vis avec mes cicatrices, tu sais, des fois je me gratte, j'ai des cicatrices, vous savez, j'en parle ouvertement, c'est pas juste sur mon visage, pas juste sur mon corps, sur les petits, qui avec l'aide de la déesse, la guérison, des fois ça va en fusée jusqu'où. En tout cas, je ne vais pas en parler, mais j'ai des cicatrices, je me gratte des fois, puis j'ai la neurodivergence, l'Asperger, j'ai souffert beaucoup, pas juste le temps de dépression suicidaire, d'avoir un emploi en temps à plus long terme à cause de l'Asperger, la condition de neurodivergence, mais j'ai mes forces en géopolitique, c'est mon intérêt obsessif, puis j'ai prévu qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant, puis bien sûr, pas juste la prévision, mais j'ai des protocoles, puis la théorie de la refusion de la dette, il faut que je vous en parle maintenant, parce que c'est la seule et unique solution, Québécois et Québécois, je sais que c'est un paradoxe, là, un gros paradoxe, mais mes chers Québécois et Québécoises, ma TRD, c'est théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est la seule et unique solution. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution que la TRD. Fait que la TRD, c'est quoi? C'est théorie à refusion de la dette. Fait que ça veut dire que ma théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça inclut aussi la théorie d'intégration monétaire en dentelle. Qu'est-ce que c'est la théorie d'intégration monétaire? La théorie d'intégration monétaire, c'est exactement qu'est-ce qu'on fait en Europe. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait en Europe? Qu'est-ce qu'on fait en Europe? Qu'est-ce qu'on fait en Europe? Donc, les Européens, bien sûr, on se dirige, on sort. Les Européens, des années 80, ont détruit leur ancienne monnaie, leur ancienne banque centrale. Les Allemands, ils ont détruit la banque centrale allemande. Les Italiens, bien sûr, ils ont fait de la destruction de leur ancienne monnaie. Les Français aussi, en des années 90, ils ont fait de la création d'une nouvelle banque centrale, la Banque centrale de l'Europe. Fait que ma TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça inclut la théorie d'intégration monétaire, ce qui est la théorie qui a fait l'implémentation en Europe, les Européens. Pourquoi je dis que c'est la seule et unique solution? Bien parce que l'écart est dû au fait qu'on paye 46,5 milliards d'intérêts sur la dette publique cette année. Là. Je vous répète, 1 milliard, c'est en 9 zéros, c'est 1000 millions. C'est ça qu'on paye sur la dette publique. 46,5 milliards en 2020-2021, c'était 20,3. 20,3 fois 2, c'est 40,6. 40,6. C'est 40,6. C'est rendu à 46,5. Juste service de la dette, en d'autres mots, payer l'intérêt sur la dette. Ça a plus que doublé en 3 ans, là. Ça a plus que doublé, payer l'intérêt sur la dette publique en 3 ans. OK, à cause de la COVID, puis j'ai survécu la COVID pour moi-même, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie. C'était vraiment comme la mort, la pestilence. C'est vraiment, là, comme la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie. J'ai survécu, mais vous voyez, il y a lumière pour sortir de ça. C'est la TRD. Théorie de la refusion de la dette. Je vous présente ça sur la table, là. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Vous pouvez vous ostiner de la gauche, de la droite pendant 2 semaines, pendant 1 an, pendant 3 ans et demi, pendant 5 ans, 7 ans, 44 ans et plus, là, 50 ans. Là. Mais la TRD, c'est la seule et unique solution. Donc, je vous l'explique le plus simplement possible. Parce qu'à cause de l'Asperger, l'autisme mouvement fonctionnel, bien, j'ai une tendance, les aspects, on a une tendance d'utiliser des mots trop sophistiqués, académiques, intellectuels, pour expliquer des choses qui peuvent être expliquées plus simplement. Donc, on va devoir prendre toute la dette. On va prendre ma dette. Moi, j'ai 10 000 de dette. Je suis en crise financière maintenant, mais je suis joyeux. Je vais, j'ai pas d'autre problème que les finances économiques, point de vue financier en ce moment. Fait qu'on va prendre toute la dette, ma dette, votre dette, ta dette, ma dette, votre dette, ma dette, mon 10 000, ton 10 000, côte à côte, toute la dette publique-privée, on va la prendre ensemble. Fait que mon 10 000, ton 10 000, votre 10 000. Toute cette dette-là, on va la prendre ensemble, Toute cette dette-là, on va la prendre ensemble. Cette dette-là, on va la prendre ensemble. Mon 10 000, ton 10 000. On va faire une refusion. 10 000 là, de dette. On va faire un 10 000. Ton 10 000, mon 10 000, votre 10 000. De côte à côte, toute la dette publique-privée. Toute la dette publique-privée. Toute la dette publique-privée. Toute la dette publique ainsi que privée. Tout, mon 10 000 incluant, de côte à côte. Vu que la devise des États-Unis, le dollar des États-Unis, c'est encore la monnaie du choix pour les finances mondiales, le commerce intérieur, externe, le tourisme, l'export, import, les finances du monde, les affaires étrangères, la monnaie des États-Unis, c'est encore la monnaie de choix. On va prendre toute la dette publique, toute la dette publique. Fait que mon 10 000, ton 10 000, tout ça, on va convertir dans la devise des États-Unis. On va convertir dans la devise des États-Unis. Tout cet argent-là, ça a fondé une nouvelle banque. Fait que toute la dette publique-privée, ça va être l'argent initial en circulation de cette nouvelle banque. Comment qu'on l'appelle, c'est le principe qui compte. On ne s'ostinera pas sur le nom trop. Pour la création d'une nouvelle monnaie qu'on va appeler UI, qui va avoir la valeur du dollar des États-Unis. U point, unité, E point, échange, U point, unité d'échange universel. U point, unité, E point, échange, U point universel. U point, unité, E point, échange, U point universel. U point, unité, E point, échange, U point universel. UI, unité d'échange universel. Le UI. U point, unité, E point, échange, U point universel. L'unité d'échange universel. U point, unité, E point, échange, U point universel. L'unité d'échange universel. UI. Unité d'échange universel. Le unité d'échange universel. U point, unité, E point, échange universel. UI. L'unité d'échange universel. Tout cet argent-là, on va faire la refusion. Tout cet argent-là, on va faire la refusion de cet argent-là. Tout cet argent-là, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. Une nouvelle banque. L'argent-là, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. Ça va être l'argent initial pour la fondation de cette nouvelle banque. L'argent initial de cette nouvelle banque. C'est UI. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%. Ça va pouvoir l'être 3,3, 7,18, 4,18, 9,3, 6,1, en bas de 10 par principe. Fait que ça va être l'argent initial pour la fondation. L'argent initial, cette fondation de cette nouvelle banque. Tout cet argent-là, initialement. Bon, avec cet argent-là, on va pouvoir rebâtir l'infrastructure des États-Unis, du Canada, du Québec, l'Amérique du Nord, dans le fond, l'Amérique du Nord, l'infrastructure, financer les gens à faire l'entraînement physique, financer les gens au tourisme, bâtir, construire 44 tunnels, construire 44 tunnels, bien sûr. 44 tunnels, en dessous, pour avoir, bien sûr, la sécurité et la défense dans le cas d'une guerre nucléaire, ouvrir plus de montagnes comme à Cheyenne, financer les gens en entraînement physique, financer les gens au tourisme, parce que ça m'en fait du bien, établir un esprit de corps avec le collectif nord-américain, parce que je suis nord-américain, canadien, québécois, dans d'autres vies, dans cela, je suis mystique sur les réincarnations, ça c'est une autre affaire, mais je suis québécois, canadien, nord-américain, je suis pour la paix du monde, mais fondamentalement, c'est Montréal, l'île de 2,5 millions, là. L'île de 2,5 millions, c'est 2,5 millions, c'est un petit pays, Montréal. Fait que c'est fondamentalement Montréal que je connais. La métropole, il y a bien d'autres villes, c'est dans le top 10 du monde, mais c'est la métropole, l'île de Montréal. Fait que c'est ça. Fait que les protocoles d'initiative, c'est ça, il faut faire la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, il faut qu'on se mobilise pour la faire. On s'en va pour pas être capable de payer les finances publiques, là. On s'en va pour pouvoir payer le système judiciaire, le système de sécurité, des services de sécurité, les pompiers aussi, ceux qui ramassent les poubelles, là. C'est des travaux publics, les aqueducs, tout ça, là, tous les publics, tout ce qu'il y a à faire avec le public. C'est rendu qu'on paye 46,5 milliards, ça plus que doubler. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution que la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, Le roi est absent, c'est le temps pour la République, là. C'est le temps pour la République, méchant. Ben, il n'y a pas d'autre choix, là, la TRD. Puis ça s'applique aux États-Unis. Puis je parle avec amour à nos frères et sœurs des États-Unis. Là. Je parle avec amour à nos frères et sœurs des États-Unis. Là. Je parle avec amour à nos frères et sœurs des États-Unis parce que, bon, tu sais, nos frères et sœurs des États-Unis, ben, on a bien des choses en moi. J'ai été né aux États-Unis dans d'autres vies. Ça, c'est une chose spirituelle. Là. J'ai servi dans l'armée des États-Unis, dans la même armée, 156 ans, à part 2 guerres différentes. Là. Moi, comme George Patton qui pensait, moi, je crois à la réincarnation. Mais le problème, c'est que moi, des fois, j'étais né homme-femme, puis that's it, that's all. Fait que c'est des choses comme ça. Mais c'est aujourd'hui, le 12 novembre, il faut commencer dès demain. Il faut commencer dès tout de suite ce travail pour la TRD. C'est urgent, ça. On ne pourra plus payer le public, là. L'infrastructure publique, c'est un désastre, là. C'est 20,3 milliards d'intérêts, c'était en 2020, là. 2021. C'est sûr qu'à cause de la COVID, là, j'ai eu la COVID, je suis mort dans la COVID, je veux tourner en arrière, je veux juste bâtir aujourd'hui, puis pour demain, bâtir le temple de la déesse oubliée, bâtir le Colisée du peuple nord-américain intégré, bâtir la Maison du Dragon, bâtir ici en Amérique du Nord, puis bâtir d'autres centrales d'Hydro-Québec, voir les centrales d'Hydro-Québec, c'est des choses que moi-même je veux faire dans ma vie, j'ai un rêve, j'ai des choses que je dois faire, tu sais. Et c'est ça. C'est ça. That's it, that's all. La TRD, c'est la seule solution. On ne s'ostinera pas longtemps. Puis c'est la seule unique solution, méchant québécois et québécoise. That's it. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui.